Alright guys, so this is the new 2023 11th generation Civic Type R, and I'm very excited about it. I think it looks amazing, and so we're gonna go over it here a little bit. A lot of you have been asking me what I think about it, so let's go ahead and go over it together, and I'll show you guys what I think. This right here to me just looks great. You know, I like the sleekness of it, the wide fenders, like the full wide fenderness of it, instead of having the added on, you know, plastic pieces to make it wider in the back like the 10th generation Type R. To me, it's great. Like, there's nothing wrong with it at all. There's only one little thing about it that I didn't like, and that's in the interior, but it's something that I can get past easily, no big deal. But I do think the outside looks great. The LED headlights are awesome. Look at that. The huge open bottom front grille. Still has a 3-tip exhaust, which is nice. It's just a little bit different compared to the 10th gen. I love the wing. I like that they did it in black along with the mirrors. The roof fin antenna, that could have stayed body colored in my opinion, but hey, it doesn't look terrible in black. And I do like that they still kept the black, you know, side skirt piece and the rear diffuser. Sucks that there's no actual front lip. I think that took away a lot from its aggressiveness in the front. The fact that there's no lip, they just painted a part of the bumper in black and tried to call that its lip. But I mean, it looks great, but it could have definitely looked better if it had a full-on, you know, front lip like the 10th generation did. But you know, I'm not gonna be too upset about that because I'm sure the aftermarket is gonna take care of that real quick, and it's gonna come out with some awesome front lips. So, you know, definitely, we know that's gonna happen. It's always happened before, and it's gonna continue to happen, especially now that it doesn't have a lip from the factory. People are gonna want to get a lip on this thing ASAP. In this picture, there's no front lip, so that's not there. But it's all right. You know, like I said, the aftermarket's gonna take care of that, so I'm not worried at all. It does have these functional vents here off to the side in the white area. It does throw in air towards the back there, and then these, I don't know if you can see, but there's a kind of like a almost slanted angle there on the lower grille. That's the gloss black. Right between the white part and that gloss black, there's a little triangle there, and that's what's gonna feed air into the brakes. So there's your functional vent right there. That's gonna direct the air right to the brake calipers in front, so you can get that cooling braking. And then of course you got that massive front lower grille, which is awesome. Not only does it look good, but it's gonna be very functional, especially with this car. You know, it's got the same engine as the 10th generation Civic Type R. It's just tweaked a little bit. So, you know, that one had a lot of issues with the cooling and whatnot, so this is definitely gonna help a lot. Obviously that's 100% why Honda did it, because they knew it had that issue of overheating. So there's that. Even the regular grille is pretty darn big. It's not small. It looks about the same size as the 10th gen one actually. But big, you know, honeycomb holes there too, so you can get the air flowing through the radiator as well. I love the LED lights. They look great. The daytime running lights kind of go over the top there. It looks really good. It all flows together, you know, it's nice. I like the black side view mirrors. I actually do like that a lot. Me on my car, some of you guys know that have been following me for a while, mine are carbon fiber, and in certain lighting they look black, so I'm already used to that, so I do like that look. So I'm not mad, can't complain that that part is black. I know some people would rather have it body colored, and that's alright, but I don't mind the black. Now let's go over here to the side a little bit. I love the wheels. If I'm not mistaken, these are the exact same wheels that are on the 10th generation limited edition LE. Limited edition Type R, the yellow one. They look exactly the same. I'm not sure if they're constructed out of the same material, lightweight forged wheels or not, but they're definitely the same style, and that looks great. As you can see, Honda stuck with the red calipers. That's always a nice big Brembo brakes there. The side vent on the front fender is a bit more subtle and lower to the ground. It doesn't go so high up on the fender. which that was one thing that I really liked about the 10th gen Civic, was that fender vent. But I see, you know, it kind of makes sense for it to not be so big on this car because it doesn't do the same function that it did on the 10th gen. The 10th generation TypeR, if you didn't know, it had the hood scoop. Air would feed into that scoop and then out through those side vents. It would split into the middle through both side vents of the front of the car, on the side, on either side. So that's why they were much bigger and much higher, because the air that came out of those fender vents came from the hood. So these, though, obviously they don't have any air coming in from the hood section because there's no more scoop on the hood. Now it's a vent to let air out instead of get air trapped in. So now all that little side fender vent does is let air out from the wheel well, basically. Which I'm no expert on drag or anything like that, or aerodynamics, but I'm assuming that it's gonna help a little bit. You know, it can't be just for looks. I'm sure Honda, obviously, they know what they're doing. I love the more subtle black, you know, side skirt there add-on. It's not bad. It's actually nice. It's like on my sport hatchback, it almost looks exactly the same. Just doesn't go up as far. Some people don't like the hard body line there across the top of the door handles that goes all the way from the hood, you know, through the doors, through the top of the handles to the back tail light. But I don't mind it, to be honest. I think it looks pretty good. If you look at any of the Civic Si or the other 11th generations in person, it really doesn't look that bad. Like, yeah, I know a lot of other cars have that same similar line, but this one you can tell, you know, there's a bit of difference. Might be similar on the door, but when it comes to going through the side fender there into the hood, and that's where you see the difference and know that it's a Civic. Moving on to the bag, you got that nice big old round booty. Like I said, it's got the widened fenders there. Moving on to the bag, you got that nice big old round booty. More added on fenders, so the whole thing is wider. The widened fenders there. You can't tell too much really from nice this picture. No more added on fenders, so the whole thing is wider. And these actually, not only did they widen the fenders, but they had to widen the rear doors as well, so it can flow all nicely. But if you guys are familiar, not only did they widen the fenders, but they had to widen the rear fenders as well, the rear, so it can flow all nicely. Just kind of cut off. If you guys are familiar with literally at the door, like a flat surface. The wide fenders in the rear, said that was so that just kind of cut off up towards the rear wing at the door, and we're like a flat surface. That was true. But in this car, it said that was so that they don't have that flat surface at the rear wing. The wideness actually goes true onto the door as well. But in this car, it's completely different. They don't have that flat surface. That's gonna be real nice to see. That's gonna make it wideness actually way wider onto the door as well. And the doors wider. You have the door also back doors. I love the wing. Gonna be real nice to see. That's gonna make it look a little way wider, better than the 10th gen Civic, because you have the door also wide. I do like the arms that hold it in place. I think the arms look really good. And then again, coming down, I love the wing. The rear could be shaped gloss a little bit. I like it that it's gloss black. To be honest, I like the whole side skirt. I do like the arms that hold it in place. I think the arms diffuser. I like the fact that it's gloss black. To me, is way better than that fake carbon fiber looking thing that's on the 10th gen Civic. That was one thing that I loved about my sport hatchback, the fact that it was gloss black for the whole lip kit and not the fake carbon fiber, just because then again, coming down, me personally, I'm just not a big fan of fake carbon fiber at all. I like it that it's gloss black. Fiber pieces that I have like my car currently are real carbon fiber front, so it's nice to see. And also like I like the fake carbon fiber plastic made it like to me is matte black, way better than that fake carbon fiber looking thing that's personally like matte black or satin black. That was one thing that I loved about my sport hatchback, the fact that I don't really like pieces to be in the flat black stage. To me, I like the carbon fiber just because that's definitely a whole lot better. I'm just not a big fan of the exhaust fiber at all. If you look here, this closer, all the carbon fiber pieces that I have on my car currently are real basically designed backwards from the 10th generation. Instead of having two large outside tips and a small, so it's nice to see. And also like big fake carbon fiber middle tip made it like two smaller side tips. Far away, to me, for some reason, I don't personally like looks better. Matte black or I don't know why. Well, can't explain it. It's just. To me, that looks really better than the way the flat black stage. To me, I like the gloss tips are done so with the two bigger, a lot better. I do like the change in the exhaust tips. I really like that a lot. It's one feature that changed. The exhaust tips are now basically designed backwards from the 10th generation. Instead of having the exhaust, two large outside tips and a small, it's probably gonna get changed out anyways. It's the other way around. But at least while it's stock, it does look better. Middle tip. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a quick dive into the interior. This interior to me looks really, really good. I love what they've done to it, even on the regular Civics, you know, the regular 2022 11th generation Civics. I think it looks great. The new design is nice. I love where they moved the number placard from the TypeR from the center console up to the dash there. That's really nice where the AC vents are. I like the look of those knobs for the AC vents to adjust them. It just looks really nice. I'm sure the feel is good too. It probably feels pretty darn premium. The screen, I don't mind it. It's pretty good. I think it probably could have, you know, maybe been positioned a little bit different so it doesn't look so much like a sticking up tablet like a lot of these cars have. But definitely no big deal. You know, something that can easily get used to. Plus, since so many other cars have it, it's kind of like impossible to get away from it anyways. Nice, same looking shifter from the 10th generation. Looks really good. I do like that it comes standard with the wireless phone charger there on the dash and the center console. I should say, not the dash, the center console there. The wireless charger, that's pretty awesome. I just drop my phone in there and it'll start charging. The knobs look awesome. I love the silver on them. They look really good. I do like the fact that the steering wheel is leather and not like the refresh on the 10th generation where they changed it to like an Alcantara material, because I know that shit'll get dirty real quick and just not look so good after, you know, some time. So I'm glad that it went with the leather steering wheel. It'll stay looking premium and brand new for a lot longer. Of course, you got the rated H badge there. The seats are awesome. Now this right here was the one thing that I mentioned earlier that I didn't really like on the interior, and that is the red carpet. The red carpet's gonna be something that's, not that I don't like it the way it looks, because I think it looks good. I just don't like the fact that I know that shit is gonna get dirty real quick, real fast, and if you don't take care of it right away, it'll probably be stained forever basically. I could deal with red floor mats, but the red rug itself from the floor, from the front and back seats, kind of sucks, because like I said, you know, it getting dirty is going to be a real pain, and trying to clean it up is also going to be a big pain. But I just, you know, what I would do is just get those all-weather floor mats, like the ones I got, the last fit ones that I have in my car. Just get a set of those and it should be good, because those things cover up really good a lot of the rug. They even go up quite a bit on the side walls of the mat, so it'll get covered up pretty darn good. So let's have a better look at the seats. The seats are more red in the front. They don't have the black lines like in the 10th generation, which I actually like. You know, it's a bit more, I don't want to say plain, because it looks plain, kind of sounds like a terrible word, but it's more, I guess you could say, cohesive, more in line with the rest of the seat. It's like it's one, you know, it doesn't look like a bunch of little pieces. The TypeR on the headrest could have been nicer, or stuck out more. I wouldn't have mind that being in like a black or white stitching, would have been nice. Or, you know, if they would have done the what do you call it, the word type in white stitching, and then left the R red with maybe like a border of black stitching, or maybe even white stitching as well. That would have been nice. It would stuck out a little bit more, but it's not bad. You know, it's no big deal. It's not like I'm ever really gonna see it myself anyways. Once I get in the car, I'm sitting and it's right behind my head, so I'll never see the logo either way. So it's not terrible. And then if you look here, you can see that the back of the seats are black, so that's nice. You know, I'm glad that the whole front and back is not red, like it's just the front that's red. The back and black is nice, especially if, you know, if you have kids like I do, that they like to kick on the back of the front seat. That way it won't get so dirty or messed up. You don't have to worry about it, because if it was in red, you'd be in trouble back there. Although I think these, I can't tell too good from this picture, but they might have a black plastic on the back like the 10th generation that goes down and kind of protects it. Now this door panel, to me, I like a lot. They did away with the red, painted line that went across the dash and the door panel. Now there's actually, yeah, you see there's a little red line there right next to the door handle to get out, but it's a light. It's a red light, so that actually lights up, while the car is on, and at night you'll be able to see it really good because it's an ambient light. So that's gonna be, lit up instead of it being just a painted line. So to me, that's pretty awesome. I'd love to have, some extra little lights in there at night when driving. Is gonna make it look that much more premium and feel like you're in a more premium car. So that's pretty awesome. I do like that a lot. Still got the Alcantara kind of looking material on the handrest. Hopefully that doesn't get messed up over time. I know the one in my sport hatchback did get a little bit white over the years from my elbow rub-in on it, because it's cloth. So hopefully this material can stand up to that better. If not, I'm sure somebody's gonna make some leather options that you can use to, pre-cut leathers that you can use to rewrap that. No big deal really. Or even if you had to get it professionally done at an upholstery shop, since it's such a small piece, it really probably wouldn't be that expensive to do anyways. So that's something to consider. Like this car, like any car, has its cons and pros. Pros and cons, however you want to say it. Either way, same shit. But to me, in my opinion, the cons of this car are things that can get changed very easily. No big deal for very little money as well. And moving on right here to the dash cluster there. I do like it. It's nice. There's two different modes of it if you didn't know. This is what it looks like in regular, driving mode. I like that there's a stopwatch there on the left side. So even in regular driving mode, you have the option to, check some times there. The nice miles per hour there in the middle, kind of towards the top, is nice, visible. I like that a lot. I love digital speedometers. I hate analog ones. I like the digital ones a lot more. So I'm glad that that's the way it is. Of course, this whole thing is digital. None of it's analog, so it's nice. You got the gas there over to the right, far right, and then your heating and cooling temperature of the car engine there to the left. You can tell what gear you're in there, what mode you're in. This one's in sport, neutral. And then once you put the car in plus R mode, then the whole dash changes to this, and you got that nice big line that goes across the top that lets you know your RPMs. And I believe it changes colors. Also those little lights there towards the top, if you can see, that let you know when to shift. So that's gonna be pretty cool. It'll be fun to play with. The mile per hour is still there over to the far right under the plus R, so you know how fast you're going. And in the middle, you have the indication there of what gear you're in, which is pretty awesome. Obviously this car's in neutral right now, so there's a big N. When you put it in first, it'll say for 1, it'll say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on what gear you're in. You still got the stopwatch there to the left, and on the right, that little radar looking thing is actually to measure the G forces. So when you're turning left and right, you can actually see how many G's forces are being put on the car, which is pretty cool. You got your temperatures there, oil temperatures, air intake temperatures, your AITs, and a couple of other ones there. So that's really nice, definitely track focused. And I believe the radio also has the same things on that screen if you want to have something a little bit bigger than the dash screen there. Then the gauge cluster, if you want to have something a little bit bigger than that on the gauge cluster here, you can have it on the radio as well. So that's nice. But yeah guys, overall I think this is a great looking car. I don't hate on it at all. Obviously I've got a 10th gen that I think looks amazing as well, so to me they both look great. I had someone ask me what I thought about these cars earlier and which one I would get if I had the chance, because obviously I just have a sport now, and I just let them know, like, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. To me they both look great. And yeah, so to me 10th generation Civic TypeR is like a Lambo, edgy, curvy lines, aggressive sharp lines. Um, looks, you know, just overall aggressive from every angle. The 11th generation Type R a little bit more subtle in the angles department. You know, nice curvy, the Ferrari there, and yeah, both beautiful cars. You can't go wrong with either one. So, you know, just depending on your preference, you might like one more, a little bit more than the other, but they're still, you know, great cars at the end of the day to have, especially since the powertrain is the same. The biggest difference is just the looks. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Those are just my thoughts on the new 11th generation Civic Type R. Like I said, I'm very excited for it. Can't wait for it to fully come out and be on the road and, you know, be able to see it in person. That's going to be great. And in case you're wondering, yes, I am going to try to get one. So I'm very excited for that. I'm just trying to decide on what color to get. So if you guys have a favorite color, leave it down in the comments. Let me know what should I get. And yeah, until next time, guys, take care and have a great day.